Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new edition of Hack the Box Ottawa Meetup. I'm your host, JF Provost, and unfortunately, Steve is not going to be able to join us this time around. It's unfortunate, but sometimes life happens, and then there's stuff that we don't have a choice, but we have to take care of, and that's fine. There's no issues whatsoever with it. But quite glad to have you guys here. I see Black Shell seems to be live right now here in the in the comments. Quite happy. Do we have anybody right now into the chat on Discord? I don't see anybody, but yeah. So hey, Black Shell. So it's going to be an interesting take. It's going to be different than the one that we've done in the past. The thing is, and most of the time, like when we do a pen test, or not a pen test necessarily, but we go onto those machines, it's hard to be able to figure it out what we need to do. Okay, so the goal is to be able to figure it out together as much as possible up to a point. So we're gonna have a little bit of struggle here and there. This is expected, but we're gonna have fun throughout the whole event. We're gonna have prizes as well, similar things. So we have VIP plus vouchers for 1 month, and then another one at the end of the stream where we're gonna have a 6 months VIP plus subscription. So stay tuned. We're gonna have questions or maybe some of the stuff that we're gonna do together. Yeah. So I'm what testing today? What name machine? So visual. You know the machine visual on Hack the Box is retired right now, which is on Windows. So that's the machine we're going to be playing on, and we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. Obviously, this is not how can I say that? Like, it's not going to be easy as much as we'd like. It's a medium machine, but it is what it is. One thing I'd like to be able to share with you, just to start with, at this point, is something that I'm quite proud of, and I'm hoping that I can share that with you. If you give me a second, I'm just going to share my screen here in a second here. I want to show you this. I think it's very cool at this point because our team, it's basically like everybody. I should probably take the banner out if you give me a second. It's over here. There we go. Okay. So as you can see right now, that's a certificate I got. But at the end of the day, what you need to take in consideration is the fact that it's a whole team effort that happened there, right? So we finished. We were 37, right, out of about what 748. Oh, there we go. 943 teams that we have at the bottom there that you can see. So this is my name there, but obviously I'm not the only one. There's people that contributed a lot more than me into our team at Malvic Security, and that was very cool to be able to compete against teams like Microsoft, Red Team. We had Google. We had what's the name of the other ones? We had another one that was Synactive France. They're the first one, so congratulations to the first team, and then the second and third team. I can't remember exactly their names, but congratulations to everyone. However, I'm super proud of our team, the efforts we've done throughout the 4 days to be able to achieve something like this. This is very impressive, I would say. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to share with everyone at this point, that we did the business CTF and we successfully went there. So, all right. So, yeah, so what we're going to do right now, unless you guys have any questions, we're going to start on that machine. But I think it's going to be quite interesting. Like I said, it's just a matter of going through something that normally we, how can I say that? It might be harder than we think and all that stuff. And we want to make sure that understand that struggle is normal. And if we don't go through it and we don't fight through everything else, we're not going to be able to get it done. Okay, so just give me a second here. I'll get rid of a, yeah, I should probably restore my stuff. Okay, so won't be too long. Share my screen again. All right, let's go back in the corner there and put a banner here. So we're going to start with the enumeration in this case, right? So this is the first case of us trying to figure it out what we need to do on this machine. Again, this is a machine where I have no idea, or pretty much I have a small idea, but we're going to try to figure it out together what we need to achieve in this case, and we're going to have some issues here and there. And it's not because I want to actually do it, but this is basically the way it would go, like if you were actually doing it. Because there's so many videos out there on YouTube that you just go in there, you watch them, and you're like, how did he find this out? A lot of people will take probably 6 hours, 7 hours just to find this. So this is normal. We're going to try to short that up a little bit if we need to make it feasible for us to be able to go through the machine. But we're going to start right now with this. So like any other machine, I'm just going to get my IP address. I'm going to do a nmap, or the IP address of the machine, and we're going to start with a basic nmap. We're going to try to figure it out what's on that machine and what can we get out of this. Hello to be elite. Happy to see you. So if you just joined, we are going to have something a little bit different than usual, where we're going to do some testing here and there and trying to see how far we can go. I don't have a whole lot of information on how to get the machine done, but the goal is to work together to make it happen, right? So I'm not the top person here to be able to achieve all the machines. So if you're just starting, you're going to see that even though I got my OSCP, even though I've done multiple machines and so on, it's not going to be the easiest way to get a machine. And even like people like me, like people that I would say people that takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes to be able to complete and get a medium machine to get to the user flag. I mean, it's insane. Like that's just insane, right? So that's the thing, and that's what I want you guys to understand, that this is not meant to be easy. All right, so we saw we had port 80 that we had there. So we're just going to do a small enumeration by doing an nmap on port 80 in this case. That's the only port. Sorry, I want to go a little bit further than this. We're going to do the script and also the versioning. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into it. I'll just move my mic. It's a little bit in the way. Good. So we saw only one port, and we'll see how it goes. It seems to be only this. It's revolutionizing Visual Studio Build. Made on Apache, PHP. So it's going to be hard to tell exactly what's happening. But we're going to go into the machine. Not into the machine, but onto the website, and take a look at what we can get there on port 80 over here. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger. You guys are seeing well, I hope. If there's anything, just make sure you let me know. Honestly, I never learned to escalate privilege. I'm excited. Well, right now it's only port 80 that I'm testing, because this is the one that's open, right? So what we could do as well is we could just like let this one run and try to see if there's more port than 80, because at this point here we had only this one that was starting up. When I did the initial scan, if you can see here on top left, basically speaking, it does a scan on the top 1,000 ports. So only the 1,000 ports are being scanned, and we get feedback. Then after that, I tried to do a scan to be able to find out if there was more information about that specific port that we found. It's possible that there's something else out there, but at this point right now, this is what we have. And then now I just did also a, did I do it? No, it's below. So right now, doing the -p-, it goes to all 65,000 plus ports, right? So we're going to let it run in the meantime, but we're going to take a look at what port 80 gives us at this point. If that makes sense for you, Black Sean. All right, so let's keep going over here. We're going to take a look at what we have as a page. We have visual here. It doesn't give us anything, as you can see here. Maybe I should make... Is it big enough for you? Yeah. Or maybe I can change my my stuff, but I think that should be good. Okay, let me know if it's too small. All right, so then now we have support for .NET 6.0. It's in C#. we have seamless submission, Git integration, and then we have submit your repo. Okay, so then here we have a place where we can put information in there. Okay, so let's go take a look, and we're gonna start here a netcat in this case. So let's do sudo netcat, because what I'm gonna do is, because it says enter URL, I'm just gonna put something here to see if we're gonna get something like some feedback back to us. So maybe exactly there's like some sort of injection that can be done here. So, all right. So LVNP, which is L for listening, V for verbose, N to don't take a look at DNS basically, and then P for the ports, right? So we're going to put on port 81 because port 80 is currently being used by my system. So here we're going to go with HTTP, and then 10, 10, 14 was 19, as we can see here, right? And it was port 81. Okay, because that's what I have. So let's just pay attention to this screen over here, right? This little one, and see if we're going to get anything back. So it says it's being compiled. Right now we have nothing, but we don't have anything that's bad. So we'll see. In the meantime, that's happening, and that's we're waiting a little bit to see if we're going to get some feedback. We can see here that all 65,534 ports has been scanned and only one has come out. So that's the reason why we're only seeing this one. Okay. Oh, see? So now we have some feedback and we know we can get something here. So who said injection here? Yeah, Black Shell. Maybe commit injection over here, potentially. There's potentially something else that we could get. We see here seems to be Git protocol. We have info, rev service, Git pack. So there's a bunch of little things here that could be interesting. So we have something. So it seems that maybe we need to build a Git repository or something like that, isn't it? Maybe we're going to have to try to use that up or something like this. So let's go back over here. Can we do, because we got the information here on support this, do we have anything that's interesting? Git 2.4. I don't know. So if we decide to build a Git, what was that other thing I was looking for? So we have the Gits, we have a .NET, and are we able maybe like a .NET Git simple project? Can we get maybe one of those projects to work for us or something like that? Simple project potentially here. .NET simple. Not exactly. .NET 6, maybe 6. Can we have something with this? Basis example. So Swagger cores. So we have the .snl. If we remember, we saw here, I think there is something here. Yeah, include a .snl file. I'm not sure what you mean. What? But why is she slowy in accept shell? The thing is, it's looking for Git at this point. I kind of think that what we need to do is build something that will basically, like, for us, gonna have something malicious where we're gonna be able to make it execute something else, right? So that's basically what we're actually looking for. I do think so. So we're gonna have a support for .NET 6. We have a repo that's here, we have the .snl that's right there, and it's already programmed, right? There's already a bunch of different things in there. SRC, project. So, okay, so then what else could we get? Is there like maybe a .NET issue? Because that's something else we need to find. Because we're gonna need to find where the injection is. .NET 6. I like to put exploits with Git. I don't know, something like that could potentially be an indicator. Let's take a look over here. So no CVE, denial of service. That's not really what we want to do. Escalation of privileges. No. 6. So those things can be not easy. Oh, remote code execution vulnerability. Could this one be a little bit interesting? Affecting software. No. All right. So thank you, Abhishek, for joining us. Yeah, so this session, by the way, if some of you are joining, we're going for the struggle. We're going for a lot more realistic, where we're trying to find how we're going to be able to get this going. This is one of the things, like, I've been helping out people for quite some times, giving them free access, free resources to be able to get training on, let's say, hacking and so on. And the thing is, and that's what I'm realizing, is a lot of people don't realize that hacking seems to be sexy, seems to be fun, seems to be paying a lot of money. And then people are just like, okay, let's go. I'm going to get into it. And then they start. And then 1 week later, they realize it's too hard and they quit. This is the main thing. This is why, like, you get people. I know, Abhishek, you've been coming back pretty much like every time, every month, and then getting this. But this is why it is so important that you see that even people like me could have issues. So I have some sort of ideas of what I think I need to do, but right now I have, like, I don't have something in concrete. I found something potentially I could use. Is that the right thing? Do I need to get? I know in the past, Git, how do you call that, Git leaf or something like that. That might be another thing too that I may want to do. I need to find that out. Maybe that's what I'm going to need to do. Is there any other vulnerability that we could potentially find? Exploits or no? Remote command execution. Advisory. So another thing too. Oh, if you want to, you can get access. Yes, that's right. Good point. If you want to get access, just like join the server directly, like hack the box. Like, I can put it probably in the chat right now. Invite people. Let's do that right now. So copy, and then, like, I'm just gonna put that. I think it's even in the description. Just like ask me or give me your your email address if you're not directly there, and then I'll add you, and then you're gonna get access for free, right? So you can hack the same machine as me. There's also 2 extra machine on the box. Sorry, on the server. So join there. Just ask for, like, or request access, which is under server access. So you have the Meetup server access. Just request it there, and then one of us will give you access for sure. And then you can hack your way through at the same time as me, and then that could be fun. That's the whole goal. So I don't have a whole lot of people right now that requested access. So feel free to just like add your name there, or let me know in the DM, and then I'll make sure to add you up to the server. Because the goal is to have fun together and experiment the whole thing together. And then if you have another idea, just like feel free to push it, because that's the goal. And then if you find it, I'll give you a 1 month for free, 1 month of VIP plus for free. That's going to be a voucher, so you can redeem it, and then after that, you can access it to access the whole suite of software, and not softwares, but machines and so on. For those that are interested, to just a little thing on the side note is that um, there's a new thing. It's called Sherlock. There we go. I got the name. So Sherlock is a little bit more like DFIR, malware analysis, or reverse engineering and stuff like that. Very, very interesting for the blue side, but even for me, like I'm loving that part. I added one challenge in there, which is fairly new. I don't think they allowed that in the past. So if you wish to be able to challenge that later on, feel free to do so. Um, yeah, you're welcome. So just had me, Malvik. Yeah, so if you join the server, you can take a look. I'm the admin under Malvik, and then you can join us directly with the server, get access for free at no cost. So anybody else that wants it, just make sure you contact me directly. I don't see anybody yet, so if you do, let me know in the chat and in YouTube, and then I'll make sure to take a look at it. Okay. So now we're looking at this. What else can we get? Remote command execution. Why GitHub? Is there something under GitHub maybe? At this point, I don't see much. Feel free, if you have any questions regarding cybersecurity, to shoot them up. If I have a little bit of time in between my research on trying to find it, I'll take a look at it and respond. CV, there's only advisories. What else could be? Visual Studio Project. Visual Studio Project. Is there anything DLL you need? Okay. Is there maybe .NET and programs? Is it possible maybe that could be a way? Oops. Let's go back here. I'll press on them one thing. So again, if you're just joining us, because I see that we have a couple of people here, make sure that if you want to join the fun, to let me know directly on Discord. I put the link in the chat, so feel free to join, or it's in the video description. All right. That's all advisories, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I don't think so. At least not yet. Execution, maybe not GitHub. Execute C#, yeah. I don't think that's a good one. Remote machine. Nope. All right, let's take a look over here. Launch settings.json. I don't think that's important to us. See, that's can be hard sometimes to figure exactly what you need to do. .NET script. What's that thing? Script. .NET PowerShell script for install. Install PS1, Linux Max. No, not exactly what I'm looking for. Remote command execution. Okay, do I have anyone? No. Oh, no, there's nothing. Okay. Clean up. So, GitHub.NET C program 6. Let's take this off again. Remote command execution. I think I already looked at it, but there is something I'm quite remote code execution vulnerability database. Is it going to point us to a direction? No, it's all CVEs that they talk about, but they don't really talk about the rest of the stuff. Um, Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Remote command execution. I don't think that's that either. So, all right. So the information, just for those that are looking for, if you find the answer of what we need to achieve that makes sense, let me know in the chat, and that's going to be worth a 1 month DIP plus. Okay, so that for sure worked. Get 2.4. Maybe that's that. Get unpacked. Um, Visual Studio build. Yeah, because we saw something about Visual Studio. I think it was here. Visual HTB Visual Studio build. Copy. Let's go here. We're gonna put that there and see. Remote testing Visual Studio. That maybe, maybe not. Or just like exploit. Do we have anything else? No, we went there, I think. 80% time. All right. All right. So see, right now um we are what? Can I see the actual time? I think I have something on top of it. No. Trying to see. Oh, 34 minutes in. We haven't found what we found. One page. We found as well that we have a support for .NET 6.0 and C#. We also found that's Git integration and so on. We have a repo link. We need to include the .sln, right? And we saw into this one, we had it. That was right here, right? The .sln was right there. So there's a possibility that we could get something going. We just need to find how we're going to get it done, because we found that we were able to listen in, like as we pushed over here onto port 81 that we were listening in. We found out that yes, we're able to get some feedback, but how are we going to be able to get it done? I mean, like we could try to read a file. Like, is this one? This one's PHP, I think. I think that's what we saw earlier. PHP right there, right? So we know PHP is there. We know Apache is there too, right? So that could be also another thing. I see somebody that joined. Just let me know directly into the server, and if you don't know how to get your stuff or whatever in under the README first channel, you just have to agree to the rules. And if you agree to the rules, you're going to get directly a access to the rest of the channels, right? And then just below that, afterwards, you're going to see the Meetup, and then in server access, you can ask access over there. And then I'll give you access directly with a the enterprise edition that we have for free. All right. Maybe at one point I should have a bot that just advertise you guys to do that. All right. So what else can we do? Visual Studio Project. Is there maybe? Let's go back here. Visual Studio Project. Build.NET exploit. Remote code execution. Maybe remote code execution. No, that's remote development. Vulnerability. That's GitHub again. Oh, but we're getting, is that, no, that's not something, I think. Link, take over computer Visual Studio Code. I'm not sure if that's what it is that we're looking for. So no. All right, so for those that are joining, that recently joined, we're going through the machine. We're going almost blind into this machine. So I'm looking forward to have some collaboration. So basically speaking, the same thing I was telling you about, like we, Malvik Security, our team, what we did the business ETF with Hack the Box, that happened like 2 weekends ago or so. We finished 37th out of 900 plus teams, right? It's not the easiest thing to be able to do them. We were able to get 40 challenges over 63 challenges in total. We finished 37th, and it's not because you're trying to take a look at it that it's going to be easy, right? Looking at YouTubers or looking at anybody else just trying to do it by yourself, you're going to realize that it's a big difference between the two, between the YouTubers and between yourself. YouTube in general, we're trying to make it more digestible for people to just like take a look at it and then see exactly what's the solution. But right now, what we're doing is we're ingesting struggle on trying to figure out how we're going to get it done. So I went to try Visual Studio Build remote code execution. Maybe I could just remove this. So we need to find something that will give us the information. The other thing too is we could try to use ChatGPT as well. You guys have, thank you very much, to be elite for your comment over here. Congrats on business ETF. Yeah, so basically speaking, we can use ChatGPT as well. So if you have access to it, feel free to use it. The goal is to be able to work together to find it and use the tools that we need to. As much as possible, we're going to try to avoid looking at solutions if we find it, right? If we can try to go around, that'd be even better. But let's keep going and let's keep trying to see if we can find it. And if we don't find it, we're going to accelerate the pace and trying to get there. And who knows, maybe after 3 hours, we may not be able to achieve 100% the machine, but we'll do our best to get it done. Okay. And if people wants to hang out and get it done for sure, I mean, the training is there. The training to figure what we need to do is there. So that's not what we're looking for here. Vulnerability, code execution, vulnerability here, but do we have like something else? You know what? Sometimes, well, it's not an exploit really, but exploit dash DB. Sometimes it can have something here. User remote control. It was talking about DLL earlier. Is there something in there? I don't think it's related to that at all. DLL, no, I don't think it's related to that. User control. That's a node 1, 2006. I highly doubt they did something from 2006. Visual Studio, we don't see code extension. The thing is also we can use, the box is called visual That's the one we're looking at right now. Exploit DB, build remote code execution. What else could we use to find how it's done? Do we have here? Okay, I'm okay with that. Do we have any other information that could help us out? Windows Server, we were pretty much sure it was that. JS delivery, PHP. The other thing too that we could potentially try and see if we're able to get there, we could do like who am I? Is there something like this that we could actually do? I'll just turn this on just in case it goes there. Enter URL. So it doesn't like that. Could we try this? No. Can we remove that? Like some sort of like closing the argument and then starting back again. Like percentage to 0, which is a space. How is it going to react? Enter URL. Well, that's weird. It's asking for this. Well, not that's weird. That's normal. Let's see. We can actually do it multiple times, I'm assuming. Is there anything here that we could actually do? Trying to think what could be interesting. You guys have any idea, any suggestions that you'd like to push so we can take a look at what could be done actually? So we got another request over here. So Black Shell, are you good to go? Are you able to get access to Discord? So these things are still working. All right. So beauty salon. No, we're not part of a beauty salon. Visual Studio. I'll just remove this just in case. Yeah, the goal is to find, like, get our methodology and trying to see if there is something we could actually do to make it work. Code remote development, no. If I do just for fun, because we know we need a dot. Let's go back here. We need a dot SNL. Where was it? I think it was, yeah, there you go. Dot SLN. Okay. So if we need that, absolutely. Is there like something that says that's somewhere where we need to put this in? Remote code execution dot SNL. I guess they have nothing of that sort over here. 2023 code. Let's put back build. We have something here. INE. VS Code. I don't think it's that. Lab environment. Oh, that's the training from INE, but let's go back here. Inject remote net. Okay. How do you generate? No, attacking Visual Studio for initial access. So we have information, but we're not able to find it. So for those that are here, we're still trying to find our way in into this machine. We tried a couple of things over here. We were able to dial in. We were not able, though, to try to inject any data in there or any commands. So it seems that it needs to get to a Git. At least it seems that everything is coming from that. The name of the machine is called Visual. So we're assuming as well that there is a good potential that it could be related to it. As we can see here, we're finding Visual Studio builds. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. Hack the Box, when they do stuff like this, like machines, they oftentimes put some ideas in behind it onto like what we're going to have to take a look at. Develop code in Visual Studio without project? No. Running. Okay, so I see here a comment. That was a client-side filter stopping you from entering that URL. You could copy the original request as curl from DevTool and then try to modify the payload URL entry from there. Correct. That's a good one we can take a look at. Correct. Let's go take a look at that option. Yeah, because here that could be it. Take a look. We can potentially go around. So we're gonna do. I know we can use the other tab, but here with Burp Soup, we're gonna be able to analyze the whole thing before it goes anywhere else. If we need to change or do anything else, at least that's my preference. Sometimes people are going or at least playing with different perspective, different things. All right, so repeater, we got to go to proxy over here, intercept on, burp, and then let's just do that. Whoops, it did not go. Enable. Oh, am I listening on it? No, that's 8081, 8080. Not too sure why it's not running. I guess we're gonna have to do some little magic over here. So let's go to this one. Edits. I'll put it at 79 because I like to use 81 for something else. 79. And then we come back here and we're gonna do a little bit of magic, kind of. And we're gonna go to 79. Save it. Okay, so let's give it a try again. So now we go here, we're at proxy, yeah, intercept, and then, so I guess we have to wait until it actually makes the request over here. Is it probably doing something in the back end or something like that? Well, back end on the client side, I would say. All right. Did we see something yet? No, not yet. Can we do inspect at the same time and do like network and see what goes where? We have upload. Seems to be doing something, but I'm not too sure exactly what. And we know it takes a couple of tries or a couple of seconds before it actually goes through. I think the first try was rather fast, but the second was a little bit slower. Oh, does not contain. So, oh, it did not go to burp. Okay. Proxy is refusing. Server is refusing connection. Check your proxy server. That's interesting. Intercept is on. Oh, needs to enable. All right. Off. And there we go. Okay. All right. So that's our page that we have. It might be a little bit small. Yeah. Thank you very much. You were right. I just had to enable it. All right. So now we see that we're going there to Git repo link. And then there's the rest of it. So the goal would be to potentially do something else, but what would be needed? Yeah, exactly. Can understand exactly what's happening back there. So It's going to submit.php, and then that's the data that goes there. We tried to use some command, did not work. Try to do this, for example, and we can probably URL encode it if we wanted to. I control U. So it's encoded. I highlighted it, control U to encode it. Then we can do who am I? Whoops, what happened there? Okay, no, that's good. So let's do that. This, and then control U. And then after that, we're going to do a, I don't know, ls, for example. Okay, I'm just going to send that to repeater to make sure that I'm not losing this page. I'm going to do a send. File copied successfully. So it's not actually returning anything. We could try to do a follow redirection, move permanently. What does it do here? So it's going to upload. Follow redirection, 200, okay. JavaScript, code block. It's, oops, shit. Oh, there was nothing after that. Okay. So it doesn't seem that we're getting something interesting with that. If we put, let's say, just ls over here, invalid URL. Windows location index.php. So it seems that it might be blocking it from somewhere else. So if you're new and you're just joining, we're having fun. We're playing a little bit the same game as everybody else would do at this point. Change the game a little bit so where people can join us directly, right? And then for example, like if you go to Discord, I'll give you access directly to the enterprise version for free. So then you can hack your way through, no issues and no problem at all. The thing is, I'm showing an experiment, like trying to demonstrate to people that it's not easy to be able to do hacking, right? It might be sexy. You take a look at people online and then they show you how they did their stuff and all that. And then it seems to be super easy for them. But in fact, they probably spent like 6 hours on one thing to try to figure it out. And then after that, post it later on, right? So that's what we need to highlight over here. So here, we're just checking one good suggestion from to be elite, to beat elite, sorry. And she was saying like try to put the request directly into the box and then send it, for example, to Burp Suite and take a look at what's going on there. And it seems that for us, if we do that, it doesn't work. If I do who am I, are we getting the same result? If I do just this, am I getting the same result? If I do just HTTP, it's invalid. Test.htb, are we getting something? Okay, we're getting invalid all the time. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove this. Oh, see? So it's really looking, it seems to be very like much filtering that aspect. And it's not something that is directly on the client side. It might be even further. Because right now we're trying to do this. If we change anything over here, unsupported URL scheme. Can we get HTTPS for fun? HTTPS. So HTTPS goes. Yeah, if we remove, for example, this like /, does it work? Invalid URL. It's really looking for HTTPS and HTTP. I was about to say Etsy password, but I guess in this case it's not going to work. It's Windows machine. Boo.ini, maybe. I copied successfully. Are we doing a traversal? Let's follow the direction. Document has moved. I don't see anything move permanently. No, it seems that it didn't give us anything interesting. That would have been interesting to get directory traversal. I mean, like we could also try to encode that part. URL encode does not want to do this. Copy. Let's go to decoder. Paste it here. Encode as URL. Let's go to repeater. And then paste it there. File copied successfully. Apache port 80 moved. Okay, so that's the same thing. Are we getting something different? No, we're not. Yeah. I mean, like that part, I can actually do it for sure. Let me just move my stuff here. I'm going to change my the way my screen is displayed. Okay, let's go to my settings and display. I'm going to change the did it change a little bit for you? No, not yet. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's what I was asking earlier, but I guess I think it probably did the trick. No, don't worry about it. I tried something else a little bit, but then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But the screen, if it's better right now, we should be not too bad. Does it make more sense? Or at least works better? All right, let me keep going a little bit over here. Okay, so all right, so the thing is, are you guys? I'm not seeing. Is there anybody into the server? I see people joining in lately. I see 2 people that joined in the Discord server. So I don't know if it's any one of you. Just make sure you go into the README first, and then check the green box at the bottom of the rules. And then once you do that, you should get a role. If you don't, let me know in the chat. What's your channel, and then I'll make this happen. Okay, so you can actually get access. And then after that, go into server access. Let me know this is your first time. I'll DM you a voucher, and then you're going to be able to get access to the machine and then go through it. But I think at this point, what we're going to do, because we've been in for a little while, we're going to try to accelerate things a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck there maybe for too long. It's been an hour that we're looking and trying to find the entry point. And you can see that can be very hard sometimes to find them. You can take hours and hours to figure it out. Let's go out of this. Let's go here. Okay, so exploring backdooring technique in Visual Studio Project. So this one we're gonna stop it, but that was a very good a very good suggestion to offer. Whoops. Okay. So now if we go and take a look over here at what's going on, we have multiple things that we could do. Okay. So we have the Visual Studio. So installing. So that's basically just install it and then figure out a way to do remote code execution. We have the output type net06 enable. Okay. And then if we use in the given code snippets, we define, okay, file, specifying the project properties and build settings, elements, pre-built events, element. The syntax for defining pre-builts and post-builts event follow a similar pattern. Okay. So if we take a look here, we have pre-built event, and then we have the command, or post-built event, and then the command. It's used to define the command or series of command that you want to execute before the build process begin. Command is series of command that you want to execute after it is done. So here, I mean, like, it's quite small. Can I make it bigger? Well, that's smaller. Can I bring this up? There you go. Okay, so it's a little bit easier to see, I think, for everyone. We have also the NTLM theft. When it comes to stealing NTLM include, we can exploit the include parameter. That could be interesting, but I guess at that point, there's a reason why potentially we could not steal NTLM. Item group, include, config, packet, setting up our SMB server. Once the solution open, okay. That's one thing that we found. It seems that we have commands that we could potentially do right over here with this whenever we build up our stuff. We take a look here, source. When we saw that earlier, that's a .cs project, right? So there is a chance, or a C# project. And there's a way that we could potentially do that, and that's under property groups, I think, huh? Project, remote code execution, property groups, element. And we have the pre-built that we can actually do. In this case here, you can see here the pre-built event is right there. And they put the calculator.exe, well, calc.exe in place. So it seems that we can do that potentially. Yeah, that could be very interesting to take a look at what needs to be done. If we keep searching, whoops, I got a Mac, so I'm used to do Command C or Command V or something like that. So I get I get to do that quite often, unfortunately. Doing Control V, Command V, and that doesn't work instead of Control V. We take a look over here on this website. What does it say? This blog will demonstrate how compiling, reverse engineering, or even viewing code can lead to compromised developer machine. Okay. We have the pre-built over here. So that's a test. So basically, pre-built event, command, and then finishing this pointer to. So it's explaining the command, how things are done. Do we have anything else? Okay, so that's going into code a little bit more. So that's not something we're actually going to do. I should probably change my my banner. Huh? We're at the foothold right now. Okay. Let's take a look a bit more. Do we have anything else? It's really going in deep, this one. Target framework, execute command. The most easy way to exploit this achieve code execution upon loading Visual Studio project is to include the following XML. So if we include this, it basically should do command execution right away. Such as backdoor would be trivial, but by anyone reviewing the project. file before. Hence, we're going to use another feature in Visual Studio Backdoor, which is much more difficult to spot, but will be triggered upon opening our code. Visual Studio will load all type libraries, the impact. So these seems to be probably the CVEs linked to it. Okay, so I got a comment here. C++ learning while loop today. Oh yeah, so what did you learn about the while loop? Because it can be fun, it can be trivial, it can be hard. Especially like C++ is not my forte, I would say. Well, I mean, like even Python is not my forte. Coding in general is not. I can read in general those type of things, but it can be a little bit harder for me to actually do it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do at this point right now, we saw that we can actually exploit or at least do command execution from one standpoint. We can do it from here, which is during time that it loads. But right now, what we need to basically achieve is to try to do it differently, right? And it's probably going to be with the pre-built events that we can see there. Okay, so that's probably some like one thing like this we're going to have to do. We found a Git somewhere, right? So we know that this one could potentially work, but there's also something else. I think it's called, is it Git leaf? Something like that. Git leaf. GitHub leaf. The easiest way to create clean, simple. No, it's not that. It's Git T. Git T official website download. So there would be some like that too that we could install onto our machine on Linux and then get the whole thing sorted out. The other thing too that we can take a look at, we could come here onto our, what's it called? Terminal. And then we're going to do a, sudo apt search git t. And we're going to see if it's there. Git delete. Not really what I'm looking for. Git t or GCLI. No, that's not that. So see, it's not even there, but it could have been potentially there. So for you, 10 years in C#, well, it's Kid Quick 23. Whoop, I don't know why it went up. 10 years in C#, web myself. I love watching JF work through these boxes. Well, you're very welcome. The only thing is, sometimes it can be painful to stream and then show that I don't know what I'm doing right now just yet. That can be the hardest part as well. I started learning C++. It's good and fast. It is close to a computer and makes you learn without using libraries. C++, that's what it is. Do you have experience with Python? And if you do you think there is a big difference on the learning curve? Like, would it be easier to learn Python or C++ in this case? All right. So the next piece that we can do, I mean, like Git is there. Is there something else that we could do to make it work? So I'm tempted to give it a try with this guy here and see how far we can get, and hopefully it works. So we're going to do copy over here, go back to our terminal. I'm just going to do it here, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. Git clone. I could have done in temp. Probably better in temp. Now let's do make their project or visual. Let's call it visual. That's the name of the machine, city visual. And then we're going to do a git clone and paste the information in there. So now we have it downloaded. We have the simple stuff over here. What would be our next step? our next step. We could potentially go under, oh yeah, the place where we have the sample that we need to move. Let's do a nano onto sample. What do we have? Oh yeah, that was under src .net. I think it was app. Was it app? Okay, there you go. Oh, API. Okay, whoops, no. Not exactly that I wanted. So then now we have API and then slash. And what do we have here? Sample. Yeah, that's the one. There we go. Let's make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. That's the location where we need to do some changes. According to the other one there, we had something. It was here, I think. Yeah, so we have the pre-built event and we have the command that we need to do. So if we copy this, go back to our terminal and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then paste it there. So now we have our command. Let's just bring this one down so we can just work with our command. The only thing is, do we needed like execution there? Was it needed? No, pre-built event. I think it was fine like this. I saw one place execution, but I don't think it's required for this side. I think it was for something else. So either way, pre-built events, that's how it was done and it worked. And that's exactly where I put it. Okay, so what could be our next step? Our next step could be to find a way to get a PowerShell. Can we do a rev shell? Oh, I can never remember what it is. It's .com. Okay, revshells.com. Are we able to get a one-liner, for example, with this? I'm going to put my stuff in right now. So that's the beauty of this website. You just need to enter your information. And in this case here, I'm going to put, that's a reverse shell, 81 or 80, 81. That's the reverse shell we're going to use. And can we do we have PowerShell? That's quite long. Do we have something a little bit smaller? Nope. That could be interesting. Because we might be able to bypass, let's say, for example, there's an antivirus or something like that. We could potentially bypass the whole thing. Oh, and that's right. We can also encode, I think, encoding. Shell doesn't matter here. I don't think so. Double base 64. Bang. We could do that too. Let's take a look first at what it is before doing a URL encode. If you guys don't know exactly what it is, I'm just going to, or wants to get the whole thing, I'm going to put it in the chat here. Yeah, so we're going to put a script over there, but it's going to be like it's a command. So as we saw here, I'm responding to black shell. If we saw here, it says command, and we can see here it's a command directly that we can put in there, right? So it seems that it could be the easiest way to potentially get access to the whole thing. So we have pre-built events, calc.exe, but now if we use PowerShell, we might be able to do something in there. So this is basically what I'm leaning towards. So if we have PowerShell over here and we're trying to get everything done, so here we have -c that's there. I mean, like you could just use a invoke like IEXC as well. Have you seen it before, Black Shell? Like that site? Have you seen it? Maybe I should just do this. There we go. I think that's going to be a little bit better for everyone. um. So there's that. Do we have anything else? That's TLS? No. Oh, that's base 64. Oh, that's great. But what's that base 64? Is it actually everything else? Burp Suite. Let's go back to decoder. We could have done it in the shell. That would have been feasible too. That's base 64. We want it in text. So client, it's encoding. Well, you know what? I think that could be potentially interesting to give it a try. And we don't need to put base 64. It's doing it over here right away. So if I copy it, I mean, like, it doesn't hurt to try. Uh, okay, first time, yeah, good. So this one, it just gives you everything. And then it's the same thing over here, like Netcat, you have it here, you copy it. Like everything is available online directly on revshells.com. I think it's probably one of the best one you can get, especially if you're not super familiar with it. If you're looking at doing binds, you can do that. MS Venom, Hoax, whatever. So all these things are available to you whenever you use this. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's do a copy over here. We're going to go here. We have the command. So, I mean, like right now, I'm trusting that thing to give me the right thing, like exactly what I need. And we didn't need it to put anything else. So I'm hoping just by doing that, it's going to work, right? So now there's a couple of different things we're going to have to do. That was an Apache server. So we need to enable a couple of things. So sudo a2 en mod. Oh, something just appeared on my screen. Mod, and then we have CGI we need, I believe. So it's Apache 2 enable mod. That's basically what it is. What else do we need? Alias. So we need to find that we have these ones, and then we need also, what's the other one? I forgot the name of it. Environment. So they're all enabled. So if these ones are enabled, that's perfect. Normally speaking, once you enable them, after that you need to do, for example, a system CTL, and then you restart. I believe I'm always mixing the both of them. Is it at the beginning or after? So we'll see. When I see if it's an issue or not, I take actions accordingly. But it seems that it's exactly like that. It needed to be. If we're not sure if there's any issues or what, now we can do a status. Okay, so now we see the status. If for whatever reason you encounter an issue and you need to figure out what to do, you can do sudo nano. It's etc. What is it afterward? Apache, I think. Apache 2, and then we have ports.conf. There we go. So now you see here lesson 8080. That's where this one is listening in. And then 4043, that's going to be my SSL module, right? Oh, I guess this one should have been also 443. Control X to exit. Ask me to save. Press Y for yes, and then press enter to save it there. I could have saved it somewhere else if I wanted to, but I'm going to save it there. So I'm just going to do a restart on my Apache 2, make sure everything is fine, and we're good to go. Metasploit is another one. Yeah, obviously you could have used that. The other thing too that we could have used, and that's like I know you said Metasploit, but we could use MSF Venom, right? And at that point we could have like do the same thing and then just like execute it afterwards, right? So curl it, put it into one place, and then put it there. So that's probably another avenue we could take. Let's just put it into our arsenal for now. Let's do a reverse.exe. I prefer to keep it a little bit smaller. So right now there's no encoding, right? So if we load this one, we need to load it straight up. So it's actually doing it, and then it's going to output it as rev.exe. And it's going to be easy enough to be able to see it under visual. Vim, yeah, Vim, very good. But I need to get used to the different things. So let's say Vim over here, like there's a bunch of different stuff you can actually do, and that's where not necessarily I'm struggling, right? Because obviously you can do a bunch of stuff, but I need to get a little bit more comfortable. So let's say I go do that here and then I come back and I want to erase the whole line, DD, super powerful. I know there's many other stuff. If you have an actual website to help people out on Vim, that could be very helpful. Just put it in the chat, please, Kid Quick. Neo Vim is great too. Okay, I don't know if it comes with, let's take a look. So if you do colon and then WQ, it's right quit. But if I just do Q, it's going to be quit. If we want to quit and then force it, it's going to be the exclamation mark afterwards. I mean, like I know a couple of things like that, but I don't know all the ins and outs. So obviously that's what it is. But Kid Quick 23, if you have a website available for everyone, just share it with everyone. That could be great for everyone to use for sure. Let's share the knowledge among all of us. So, okay, I'm gonna check as well. Where's my Discord? I want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. So again, anyone, if you're interested and you want to get free access to this machine and hack it alongside with us, please join the Discord channel. And then it's in the chat right now. It's also in the video description, and should be also on the Hack the Box meetup if you require it. And then jump in, accept the rules, and once the rules are accepted, you're going to get privilege to be able to see a lot more out of servers, and just request directly to me to get access, or go into the server access request to be able to get access there. Okay, so multiple ways to be able to get access to one of those machines. In fact, there's 2 machines plus 1 challenge, right? So 1 challenge which comes from Sherlock, and that's DFIR. I think you have a PCAP file that you need to analyze and then go through the whole thing. It's very, very fun, and that's something we should probably do in the future, especially that they're fairly new into the Hack the Box meetups. So that could be something to take a look at. All right. So now we have a couple of options. So some of the things that we could do, because we have a .exe, we also have a, oh, I thought we had the PS, no, we don't have any PS1 yet for a reverse shell. Oh yeah, I think there is one somewhere. Okay. Let me see. Can we get, let's say, a, because I'd like to be able to get this. I guess we can do a curl or something like that, and then just like execute it afterwards. Could this work? But oh yeah, that's right. We did the other thing. We did the change that. Okay, so okay, let me take a look. That's the thought process sometimes that happens, right? You get caught on onto a couple of things. So we change. Let me come back here. We changed this one here, okay, this file. And we added a PowerShell script that's supposed to do a reverse shell back to me, right? So that's exactly what we're going to try to do. But the thing is, we need to build our stuff first, right? So we created our own things. So let's get out of there. Now what we're going to have to do is create a repo, right? And we're going to do a make dir into var. It's w, and then HTML git repo. So we have that cannot create. So the reason why it cannot create is because we need to be sudo. To do that, I guess, oh, it already exists. Okay, let's do a rm. We're going to delete that one. So rm-rf. So extremely be careful with that command. Oh, let's go. Let's say you do rmrf, right? And then you do it directly on the on that slash. The first person in the chat in YouTube to tell me what it does will win 1 month free. Yeah, If you do sudo rmrf and then the forward slash, what does it do? I'll let you guys tell me. That can be something very interesting. Delete what? There we go. That's exactly what it does. It deletes everything, deletes all. That's exactly what it does. There is lots of memes. I don't know if I can find one right away, like real quick. Let's go. We're on Google. So rm-rf. Oh, sorry, none. Yeah, rf memes. There's a couple of them that we could potentially find, hopefully. There's one I thought, like, when I saw that, I was like, that's priceless. It's basically a house on fire. I'm not finding it right now. Meme, girl, house on fire. Oh, there we go. I was this picture there, but I don't see RMRF. Maybe somebody actually did it. But it's basically, can it go a little bit bigger? Yeah, probably not. It's a little bit too small. Burn it down, just as I planned. But yeah, so if you go back to work, take that picture, put RMRF, especially if you work that in area. That's pretty good. So, all right. So, Kid Quick, you're the first one to tell me it destroys it all. Black Shell, you were very close, but you still have a chance to be able to win more. We don't have a whole lot of people. I have 4 different vouchers, and right now we have 7. So, basically speaking, the 1 month, I'm just going to reiterate this: the 1 month vouchers are going to be spread out throughout the whole session here that we're going to be all together. And then the last one, which is the 6 months voucher, will be given at the end. But will be given at the end. Well, sorry, you're going to have to answer one question. And that question is something that happened along the way, right? So if you're here the whole time, you're going to be able to answer. If you're not, might be a little bit harder, right? So, yeah, so all right, let's move on to something else. But that was a fun one. When I saw this, I was laughing like crazy. All right, let's go back here. Where was I? So we're gonna do RMRF and then remove anything that's under Git repo. Do I need to put star? I can remember. I don't think it's Git repo itself. Is that what it is? And then if we do a ls la, whoops, I need to do a space. All right, so we have nothing else in there. Good. I want to make sure that there was nothing in that location. And then after that, we are going to make sure it's available for data. So we're going to do a sudo shown. We have triple W data and then column, and then it goes to triple W data again. Okay, so what you're seeing here is you see those data. So if you're not familiar with Linux, right now we have root, for example, in this case, right? It's not exactly that. Is there like another file? Well, oh yeah. So here, for example, it's malvic. So basically speaking, it's the owner and then the group. This is the ownership. That's the type of ownership you're getting there for rev.exe. In this case, what we're doing here is for anything under Git repo, we want them to be all under like www data, right? So it's all going to change at that point. If we would have done that under rev.exe, it would have done that exactly. Okay. So let's do this. LSLA, let's take a look. Git repo, see, it's under this. So now we should be rather good at this point to be able to go further. Yeah. Okay, so just going to take a note here. Yes, 1 month. Always good to have a 1 month free voucher. So keep going, Black Shell. If we go to another one, you might be able to get it for free. All right, good. So next piece now that we need to do is we've done that. Now we're going to need to change the Apache conf in this case. Okay. So in this case, it's already probably changed. So let's do a sudo nano etc Apache, and then we had Apache conf over here. So here we have the script, right? So script alias, the git, and then the git goes there. HTTP backend. Uh, is there anything special there? No, it's just like basically pointing out to where it needs to go. Okay. So that's good for this. Normally we do a restart because again, we made a change to Apache. I like the up arrow, but sometimes I hate it because you have to do it forever almost. Okay. So next step that we need to do, this was the location where we had our simple.net. Okay, so we're gonna need to copy those things over. So let's do a copy of the whole thing here, right? So copy R. So the capital R, that's gonna be everything. So recursive in this case. Okay, so anything that's under this folder that we saw is going to go here under Git repo. Okay, or permission denied. So now we need to do a sudo. Okay, so now sudo. We may have to play a little bit around and give another shown again later on. It's quite possible. Let's do a lsla in here. So everything is under root. So see, that's somewhat of an issue that we have here in this case, right? Because we wanted to make sure everything was there we go. Okay. So then now pwd, well, I guess it's already written there. Oh, good. So, Kid Quick, was it your like your subscription that you paid for, or you had a subscription? Because I think I gave you a 1 month or something like that before. So yes, for sure, I'll give it to you, Black Shell. Thank you very much for sharing this. That's 1 month, but a 1 month does not stop you from getting 6 months, right? So it's just you're giving away that 1 month if you win the 6 months. If you understand what I mean, right? I want to make sure it's fair for everyone, and then we're able to spread the wealth to everybody. So I'll put your name, Black Shell. You're just gonna have to contact me on Discord after this this session over here. All right, so let's go back here. Now we're gonna do a git. That's another thing. Probably we're gonna have to do sudo init. I'm assuming. Yeah, we cannot do it. So sudo reinitializing the Git repository. Good. And then, whoops, Git add dots. I think that's what it is. Good. Then after that, we need to config the global user mail because that's how it is, right? So we have config global, and then user dot email, I believe. And was there an email in there? Like I'm not even sure if that's going to matter. Let's take this out. Yeah, I don't think there was any email there, right? There's only home and visual. The other stuff are not for clicking other than submit. Okay. Email. So it could be hacker at HTB. No, it's visual. Visual.htb. There we go. Is that good? Okay, sudo. And then the next piece is commit. And then I think it's initial commit. And there you go. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's not exactly that. It's git. So I'm going to put that here. Git commits m initial commits. One file to insertion. Sorry, SLA. Okay, so we have the .NET that's there. If I do, for example, a nano. Do I need to? Yeah. See, again, that shown thing is just like now helping out. Shown. Oh, I forgot the dash capital R over here. Dash R. So recursive. That's what it means, right? Look at the source. Yeah. Okay. Let me do that for now. Okay. So I just want to check, make sure everything is fine. So everything's under data. So we're good. Let's take a look at the source. That's a good point. Can I make it? Oh, I'm trying to make it bigger. There we go. You guys, it should be a little bit easier for everyone to see. Visual. I don't see anything special right now. These are not links, at least as far as I can tell you. I mean, submit is. We could. Can I just click on it? Yeah, submit does give us one. That's PHP, so yeah. The other thing we could have used, I didn't think about it before, with what's your name? To beat elite. She was talking about, or she or he, sorry, that person was talking about using Burp Suite to be able to get this done, right? Using Burp Suite could have potentially do a PHP wrap to be able to extract information, because sometimes when it doesn't work, sometimes it's just a matter of that wrap not being done properly. Sorry, the information being stopped before it gets out. So by wrapping it in, let's say, base 64, now after that we can take that information and then decode it. So I don't see anything here that seems to be pointing out to something interesting there. So we're gonna keep going. Quickly pick off. No, not now. Okay. Yeah, nothing there. Good. So let's move on. Let's take a look at this here. Okay, so we changed this. We're gonna confirm that. Guess I need to do a sudo nano. Then we're gonna take a look at under. No, not simple. It's src. I think src. I think it was API. And then we had the sample project. So see, our PowerShell is still there. So it got copied over. And if we need to do something because that doesn't work, normally speaking, we should come back here and test it out and see how it goes. All right, so now our next step to do. Okay, so we have this. Which port was it again? I think it's 8081 I selected, 8081. Okay. So we're going to need to have a shell listening in. But in this case, because it's Windows, can we use rwrap? Yeah, I think that's the one here. So rlwrap, it's the one in general you're going to use whenever you want to do an NC with Netcat, like whenever you receive stuff on Windows. Okay, so we'll give it a try and see how it goes. In some cases, it happens that you're not. Oops, wrong key. So it happens that rlwrap is not going to be there. So, and then if you try to do an app install, it might not work. Just do an app update at that point, and hopefully at that point it's going to work. All right, so now we're listening in. We're going to go onto our page, and we're going to take a look, or not take a look, but we're going to try to get access to that thing, to that actual server, right? Was there an indication of where we needed to go under our stuff? No. No. Okay, that doesn't matter for that. Okay, it doesn't tell us where we need to go. Can I bring a I like my sorry. If you guys like command shell all the time, I'm all right with command shell, but sometimes I like to get my my GUI var w html and git repo. So we were under git repo, so sample.net, I'm assuming, or git repo sample.net, because it starts over here on the Apache. Yeah, Apache start there, I think. I guess we can give it we can take a look ourselves now. We don't need to just like guess. Local hosts, and we were on port 8081. No, 8080 on this case. We have access there. Then I should have. Okay, I have these things. So if we go back here, not this one here. I quit this, and then I do city. Oh, I was there. Never mind. Those two files are there. So that's the file it seems that we're getting. So if I go here and then there, that's basically our path. So get repo .net. I think that's what it is at this point. If I remove those two files, or not those two files, but the two files over here, we're going to get access as well too. So it's another way to kind of take a look at it, or not to get access, but we're going to see what we can do with it. So now, because I'm not sudo with this one, it's a little bit harder to be able to do it. So either way, we should be good by git repos and then sample.net and send that over, I think. 8081. No, this one is 8080. 8080. And then we have git repos. And we're going to, what's the other name? I think I'm just going to copy it because I don't remember the name by heart. I should have simplified it. I think it would have been a lot easier. Simple-.net 6. Simple dash dot net 6. I think that's what it is. All right. Bad memory. Come on, Jeff. Okay. So let's give it a try with this. I'm just going to copy it just in case I need to re-enter the whole thing. We're on burp, so we're going to quit this. Should be disabled even though it says burp. And then let's go take a look here. Are we going to get a shell back? So we already know that Apache is listening on 8080. It should go on 8080. Then, oh, is it the right place? That's the thing. It's not even at the right place. So it's not going to work. Because the thing is, our rev shell is into the other folder, right? So that's the thing that we're going to be facing. See, that's an issue. So LSLA, there's nothing here. So basically speaking, if we want it to be able to get executed, we're going to need to get it over here, because basically speaking, when we're loading, hold on. How did I do this? I just need to take a look at our file, because we did. So it's supposed to load PowerShell. Oh, I got confused a little bit. So it's supposed to load the PowerShell, and we're supposed to wait. No, I think we're good, isn't it? Did I miss something? Did we catch it on time? No. Okay. I think I'm confusing myself a little bit now. Did I do it properly? I guess we're trying it again. The other thing that we could do as well, sudo tcp dump, and then xx and nvv. I can't remember exactly. Never remember which one is which. And we're looking for um, ton 0 and then the host. So if it doesn't work, I mean, that's going to be fine. 10.10.1.234. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to listen in and out. Oh, see, bang, we got information. And that was from port 0 to my port. So it did not dial in, but okay, so there was a little bit too much information. I was asking for too much stuff, but we can see here we got that. Um, oh, we see the actual page that was sent back, probably Apache. So we see the whole information about it, right? With TCP dump. Mm, probably see a little bit too much. So it goes to get upload. I'm looking to see if it's talked back to my computer, but it seems that it doesn't talk back to the port I'm asking for. 80, 80. I didn't see 8081, so maybe our shell is not actually working this way. It is possible. Okay. So we might have to be a little bit more flexible and trying to find how we're going to do this one, right? So it's all about being flexible and then finding out a way to get it done. Um, okay, so let's give it a try again, but with something else. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to get the file that we just created earlier, right? If you guys remember, we had LSLA. Oh, that's right. We didn't. No, it was good. It was good. Okay. Cd git repos cd was this sample? Yeah, .net. And then we had sudo. It's possible that's not working. Possible, but I didn't see anything from our standpoint over here on the TCP dump. Was probably a little bit too verbose to my taste, right? Maybe I should have taken it down a little bit. But whenever we take a look here, we're going to see that's the IP, right? So that's the IP of the machine we're attacking. That's the port, and that's where it sends it to. So it sends it back to me on this one, on this port, 44682. This one, it's the same one as this. So basically speaking, I send information to port 80, and then port 80 send back information over here. So maybe if we take a look a little bit more in depth, what it says is going to tell us. But in this case here, if you guys pay attention to like this type of line, I can go back again, but we're not going to see anything that's going to be like coming back to 8081, right? So that'd be the reason why I wouldn't say right now that it's an issue with RL wrap. Okay, if you understand what I mean in this case. I see it and realize. Do you work for these guys, or are you even allowed to say? Are they allowed to say if they work over there? That's the question. That's the first question that you guys should ask yourself. Are they allowed? I know that I've seen CSC over there. Well, you can see I'm already like Malvik Security, right? I got my my own business. I do work as a partnership with Hack the Box. I do train also with, well, not train with, but I do train people, what's it called, at Concordia University. So normally cybersecurity in French. Most of the time, that's what I'm going to do. I do teach as well ethical hacking to other groups, and I also have the Quebec government as a client. So without going in depth into which government client I have or whatnot. I do deal with with other government, federal as well, and some private organization. So without going too much in depth, but you can see like if you go on my LinkedIn profile, well, if you type in malvicsecurity.com, you're going to see exactly in general what I do in this case. If you're not connected with me, connect with me, and then I'll just accept you right away. Yeah, sure. The question here, can you recommend the best place to start learning pen test? I would say the best place to start with, right? And again, even though I'm a partner with Hack the Box, even though I tried different platforms and so on, I would probably highly recommend Try Hack Me to start with, right? This is the beginning. You start with Try Hack Me, but eventually you will find like that it's a little bit limited, and the information, or at least the what you're going to get there, it's spoon fed, basically speaking, right? Once you start finding out that you're reaching out a limit, then you just jump onto the what's it called, you jump onto Hack the Box at in this case. I would highly discourage people from actually doing OSCP right away. So if you're starting in pen test and you start OSCP, you're just going to waste your money right away. So I'll be straight up with you on this. And then two pieces on this that I could mention is I just talked about OSCP, right? OSCP is still recognized. It's still like some of the gold standard into in cybersecurity pen test, at least as a starting point. Then and it's good, but it's losing a little bit of weight. I would say that if you take a look at HTB now, they have CPTS, they have CBBH. So CBBH is the Bug Bounty Hunter program, and then you have the other one too, which is called CPTS. It's the Pentesting certification. I can't remember exactly what's the name of it, but that one there. Maybe if I change my camera, it's going to be a little bit better. That one there for CPTS. It's a great exam. It's over 7 days, right? So you spread it out the way you want. I know somebody that actually did, what's it called? Yeah, did the exam in 7 days and was working full time too at the same time and was able to achieve both. Would I recommend that? No. If you can take time off, try because it can be harder than you think, and then you do it. It's the same thing with CBBH. I know someone completed it within 4 days, right? And was also working, or at least a mix of them. You can start on a Saturday, and then it's a 3 days weekend, and then you go back to work on, for example, on Tuesday. At least it gives you 3 days to be able to figure it out without taking time off. Okay, so that's one thing. Those certifications super hard to do. They are worth it, but in term, or at least in the perspective of, are they going to give you the same thing as OSCP? No, unfortunately, not yet. Eventually, probably it will, but for the time being, it's a little bit harder to be able to push that up front, right? So, yeah, so that's what I would say. That if you guys are interested into those certifications, I think they're going to be worth the money eventually, but not now. So take that with a grain of salt. So thank you very much for your question. I hope it answers it. Again, just to reiterate real quick, briefly, try Hack Me, start first, super cheap. I think it's like free. You can have a bunch of different rooms, and then at $12, $15 a month, I think it's Canadian, $15, you're going to be able to get access to pretty much all their stuff, and that's per month, right? So then you get more comfortable. You do one of those red team path or something like that, and then once you're done with this, then you can move on to what's it called? You can move on to Hack the Box afterwards. Hack the Box has a free version too that you can access, and then eventually you can start paying as well too. For me, I pay per year. I pay VIP plus, and but also at the same time, I have access to the enterprise version because I'm also a partner on the business side, and I'm also part of the Hack the Box meetups, which is more a little bit on the B2C business to consumer. So I also have access to the other enterprise, so which is the one that you guys have access to. So yeah, so if I did not answer your question correctly, let me know, and then I'll try to do it better. Here, Black Shell, how to specialize in penetration testing of mobile application. Well, that one that can be hard. I know someone that we may have soon eventually to be able to do a demonstration on how to do pen test on this. Let me see. There's something I'm not able to show you from here, but let me see if I have anything from a different company. Um, that could be interesting maybe for you guys. Oh, I need to change my profile. That's the issue. Okay, maybe I can do it with the other one. So let's put that to pause for a second. The hacking portion. If you allow me 1 second, I'm gonna try to answer that question as best as I can. It's just I need to log in. I don't want to give the name just yet. I want to take a look if they have anything first. What's it called again? Let's say Android. Oh, they have Android Labs. Yeah, okay, so it seems that they probably have 12 in there. Okay, so unfortunately, this one is not accessible, so I should probably try to find another one. I'm just thinking about it, right? This one is not accessible by consumers. The company's name Immersive Labs, and that's another company that's let's say the business you work with or something like that could actually get a like a business license, basically, right, for your people, and then could be trained on that. And they have about 12 different labs in there on how to be able to go through. So like yeah, even like Android malware talks about it. It talks about like spywares, like talk about like how to get in there. So that could have been interesting for a lot of people. In terms of other stuff, I'm trying to think. Is there anybody in the chat that knows a place for mobile pen tests? That's a really good question. I never really did. Never really been on this. There's Actrix that has, I guess, enumeration steps on how to be able to do it. Hacker proof server communicate with experienced hacker and bug bounty hunters. That could be interesting. I'll put it in the chat. Take a look at that. I mean, like, there's also a Discord channel that Hacktrix is promoting, basically, on that website. But there's a couple things. There's like breeds. There's a bunch of stuff. I'm not into this, unfortunately. So that's where it's going to be hard for me to tell you. Do we have anything else? Oh, Wasp. Maybe there's something in there. GitHub. Mobile pen test course. Oh, TCM Security. It seems that they have one as well. I don't know how good it is though. Okay, so don't take my word to say that it is the best or whatever. If you go and take a look at any one of those things, make sure you do your due diligence and take a look at it, right, before you actually purchase anything. Yeah, so I mean, like, that's as far as I can tell you, Black Shell, about it. Next questions here. And what skills are highly in demand when it comes to pen tests? Good question. Good question. I would say, I mean, like, if you are a full stack developer, like you can code Python, you can code C, like C++, you understand, like lately I've seen Rust being something that has been going a little bit higher, right, in the demand. That's something that could be also very good to go. Understanding, like, I mean, like, there's so many courses, so many things. I would say, like, trying to do your best and get experience on machines. I think that's what you can show up, because they're going to be asking you questions about, like, well, I mean, like, I cannot tell you the exact questions, right? So I'm just giving you examples of what I think you could potentially get. And they could ask you, like, give me an example of you conducting pen tests. And then you're like, well, I never conducted pen tests, but I can tell you that what I've done is, let's say, on Hack the Box, I've compromised or whatever. I hacked, however you want to try to do it or express yourself. I actually hacked, I don't know, like 75 machines, right? And in the question you're asking me, because for example, asking me about like name that one time that you did an SQL injection. Well, I remember on that server, what I had to do is basically do an SQL injection, and then I was able to get a database that gave me credentials. Then after that, because I had the credentials to a user was admin, I was able to log in there, but there was nothing. But you know what? What I thought about is I used that password, did SSH onto a user I was able to enumerate from the, let's say, for example, again, this is just an example, from the WordPress or from the an email I found directly onto the website. And because I used that and used maybe Hydra to be able to do some sort of brute force, if you understand, or crap map exact, right? Which is another tool that you can do. I was able to figure it out that on that machine I had access at that point, right? Because I found credentials. And obviously it was supposed to be admin for this website, but I'm guessing that the admin is, I don't know, is Philippe, right? And then if Philippe is the guy that created the website, well, he probably reused the same password. So I found this out, right? I could also ask you about Active Directory. Active Directory is a big piece also, where you could say that you found some information in there, like in, what's it called? As you were doing enumeration, Active Directory, you found information there and then realized that in the comment they put a password, like somebody put a password and it was for a brand new account. And then you realize, oh yeah, I mean, like brand new account, there's probably one right now. That brand new account somewhere in there. So all I got to do is just like get a list of users, use my commands, and then just like shoot it there, right? And then hope for the best. And you're probably going to find one user that's going to be brand new, right? So at that point, that's another thing you could do in this case. So multiple things you can do. So it's up to you to respond, obviously, to those questions. But I would say experience, like try to get as much as possible experience on doing multiple different things, not just attack Linux. Try to attack also Windows. If you see some of those Android machines that they put online, try to do it. Well, I mean, like, sorry, hack the box. That's something like that. If you're very into mobile pen test, that's a different thing. You may have to get a little bit more courses to some of the locations I just gave you. So, I mean, I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer. Depends where you're going, depends where they specialize in, or where their lack of expertise is at. So try to do as many as you can, and eventually you'll get better. It's the same thing for me. Like even doing those events, I'm learning, right? Because I need to get there. I need to be able to improve. I need to get better, and we need to get this done. So yeah, that's what I would say. Hopefully that answers somewhat your question. Going from one organization to another can be all different. So that's what you got to think about. All right, and then I got here. I think that penetration testing for mobile application, there is not much competition. There may be many loopholes, but I don't know anything about how to enter the field. No, me neither. I'm not sure 100% for this, but I would say, and I would assume, if you go to one of those top organization, right, like probably CSC, because they're basically the NSA, where they have their super hacker, I would call it. By I don't know, right? I'm just telling you, potentially they have super hackers. If we, let's say, listen to Darknet Diaries, which is, by the way, if you're not subscribed to that, Darknet Diaries, subscribe to that. But if you think that CSC is the equivalent of the NSA, and then you think about those Darknet Diaries podcasts that you listen to, you may find some information in there that could be very relevant to you for this. Okay, so I got a couple more. I got here, web software is a jungle. How do you keep up with new technologies, libraries? I mean, like, it's just nonstop. You just keep doing it, keep repeating it. So do you remember, maybe you've seen videos of like SnowScan on our channel eventually? Well, at one point, like in the past, probably I think like 2-3 years ago, he was there and then made a demonstration. We're still seeing him today doing hacking, right? He's still going onto the platform and then showing up over there. And I don't know if I can, yeah, I would have to change, and don't want to do that right now. But Snowscans keeps doing it all the time. He's Canadian. I think he's from Ottawa. I believe, don't quote me there, but I think he's from Ottawa. Um, and that's exactly that. He just keep doing it, and you keep seeing him. You see XTC as well, having the first blood, and you're like, how the hell did you get like a first blood in 15 minutes? You barely got time to be able to access the machine. You already have blood, well, first blood, which means like you have, like you were able to get, let's say, to user right away. And then I see within like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, other people that could be the other person from the same team. So it can be very, very impressive. So yeah, that's something to check out. And that's what I would say to be able to challenge the. So okay, so I think I've seen that, said that in the past. Pen test is very interesting. It's very, I would say, sexy for a lot of people. But one of the things you need to keep in mind is not all the jobs are available in pen test. One of the thing that's, and this is why, like right now, you see like my logo, right? It's all like purple. It's not because I'm a big fan of purple. I can tell you that like right off the bat. I am not a big fan of purple, but I love the fact that people are thinking about the blue and then the red team at the same side, at the same time. So training purple is extremely important too. Training yourself as purple is extremely important. So even though, let's say, you do a blue team's job and you learn about pen test, think about your organization as you're doing it. How can you try to better it? How can you try to protect it a better way, right? Think about also, as I'm creating, I don't know, a new VM machine, and then I'm programming something specific. Is it vulnerable? Are you going to do security by design, right? Because now you have a perspective of what an attacker would be looking at. You're putting yourself into an attacker mindset as you're trying to develop either your architecture or your program or something like that. So keep that in mind. That's extremely important to think about that. So it's not because you're blue that you should not learn about red. And this is how I was, just to give you my example right now, right? I left the military in 2017, September 2017. I started my journey in September 2017. Within 8 months of me, like trying to do as much as I can, I got lucky enough. I mean, like there's some people that maybe it's like being at the right place, right time. I decided to go for a job and apply with IBM. I got the job 8 months in my 8 months in my class. I can tell you it was extremely challenging to be with those people. Like I was with other contractors and they have like 15, 20, 25 years of experience. And then everything they're saying, you're like, oh my God, like I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, it's just like my brain is about to explode. But the one thing within like, I think 4 months or so, I decided at that point it was time for me to learn about hacking. So that's when everything starts shifting around. And then within 6 months of me learning and just doing it, I mean, like, you can probably ask my wife if you know her, right? I'm not going to tell you her name, but I was like, when I start something, I just like don't stop. I'm extremely, extremely focused onto it, and I'm going to do it all the time. I got kids, so obviously, like, you have to dedicate time to your kids, right? So that's what I did. But as soon as I was done, and the kids were in bed, it's back into it, and then going to bed at like 1 or 2 a.m. and then going back into again the next day at 6 a.m. and like no sleep, and then you go back again to your day. So there's so many things like that happen. But for me, I get extremely focused. So that's why obviously probably my track record is a little bit faster than others. But it's the same thing as like if you want to be able to perform in the NHL or you want to be a pro at the NBA or football or something like that, you need to practice. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make the NFL or the NBA or the NHL. So it's all stuff like that that you need to actually think about if you want to be on top of your game. But to me, this is how I was able to start maneuvering around and challenging those people because I knew how the attacks were conducted. Right. So as soon as I saw something happening or I saw something in front of me, I was able to take action or at least open up a ticket or tell people, look, you guys need to fix this. And you guys need to do that. And then eventually, like by doing Hack the Box and piling up my stuff, my expertise, I was able to figure it out like other avenues. And then I had my company and then I kept going with it. Right. So this is the reason why now I'm pretty much doing all these stuff full time. It's taking a lot of my time, but you know what? I love it. And this is how you're going to be able to do it as well eventually, right? If you're working for a company and you're working blue team, you're learning about red team, eventually just try to shadow them. Try to ask your supervisor if you can shadow one of the pen test team. Like, if you can't do it, I mean, you're going to be able to learn. And eventually they're going to know you. So if there's like an available position and then you help them out in the past, they might pick you over others because they already know you. A lot of times it's not working. It's trying to understand who you need to talk to and so on. So keep that in mind. Try to think about it and do it right as much as possible. Good. And next question here: what do you think about cloud pen testing? Well, cloud pen testing is another piece where it can be how can I say that? It can be a little bit hard for me to speak. I do teach a couple of things. It's a little bit different. I mean, like, okay, so to be honest, I've been like, as I'm trying to say words, I'm thinking about it. Okay, so pen testing extremely important. I would say this is the future. Depending on where you're at least immediate future, I would say. If you're thinking about Canada right now, especially government or something like that, I would try to think about it, but not being like not pushing it 100%, saying this is going to be your bread and butter, right? This is going to be the future, though. So if you start preparing yourself now, eventually there's a good chance it will happen. So the reason behind that is because, for example, right now, the Canadian government, if they want to get, let's say, secret infrastructure, top secret infrastructure, or something like that, they need to be on premise, so on site, right? So these things are not going to happen. In the United States, though, secret and top secret are allowed into the cloud because they have a specific requirements that's being met by, let's say, for example, Microsoft or AWS or whatever organization they deal with. And that's the reason why they're able to do that. For us here, we have to wait a little bit longer. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the need, like the capacity to be able to build the whole infrastructure altogether. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. But you have private companies, so that's why like you could have somewhat of a little bit more of a niche on how you could try to do pen test. But there is some stuff that was happening. What was it called? The business ETF. That's right. And that's one of those things I found out is I had to create myself an AWS account, and there was something ARN, I think. I can't remember exactly what the acronym stand for. And that ARN, if you create like a rule or something like that, and you put that an ARN from someone else, and you put it in there, you can give yourself access to other stuff, or at least like start enumerating like this, right? So it's somewhat of a vulnerability in there. Maybe that's something I can find out a little bit later. But it was very fun to experiment that. Maybe hold on, can I find it? Are you guys you guys want to hear more me talking and helping you out, or you want to go back into the machine? Because I can do one or the other. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still happy to be here. And then what I can do is I can probably try to link you guys to a write up afterwards. I don't mind that too either. B-side, were you at B-side Ottawa last year? Like in 2023? Okay, so let me put the website on so you can actually see it. Okay, so let's go back here and do HTB write up business CTF 2024. That's the one. So forensics, Poem crypto cloud. There we go. Which one was it? I think it's Prot Rude. Let's take a look if that's the one. Well, you see that was the actual thing. Oh yeah, so that's what it is, right? So they were giving us some information. If I can see it here, that's the asset. So if we take a look here, PNG flag banner. Oh, maybe not. Amazon Word doc. Okay, Okay, that's the flag, but that's not what I'm looking for. Banner, like the box. I don't care about that. Well, I mean, like I care, but I don't care. Enter your email here. There was something. There was a file that was provided with it. Maybe we're not getting it right now. We have obtained a link account pertaining Vault 101. Oh, there we go. So that's I think that's what we're getting. Your task is to enumerate and see if we can infiltrate them internally. So we can see these thing here. We access key ID, right? And then the secret access key, and then the region name. And that's all we're getting. That's all we started getting at that point. We obviously get this. We have a little bit of information, but we don't know. So the thing is, like now you can see here is to potentially like go with the CLI and then start configuring our own stuff, right? So basically from the CLI, I think I got it here. Yeah, if I come here and I do, let's say, AWS. Is it? Yeah. So AWS, you can see I have it here. So if I do configure, now I get the same thing, right? So if I would take a look at that information, paste it here, we could do and replicate pretty much the same thing and experiment exactly what it is. By the way, that's all that's available for everyone, right? So I'm not showing you something specific or something privileged. Okay, so my question here, get quick. You need to stage. You need the stage at B-side Ottawa. Did you answer? You said L, yeah. So was it the yes? You were at B-side. I'm not sure because we probably saw each other if you were at B-side. I had the hack the box room over there. I was basically manning it and then having a couple of classes there. Yeah, so basically right now is we go and then we have the AWS stuff and there was something else over here. Keep going. Oh, you see the ID, right? I think that was the ID. We changed the ID. Okay, no, that's an enumerating now. Organization. It's all enumerating from this, right? But if you enter the information before, that's how you're going to be able to get it. But I think there was something that has to do with this, the ID. So can I see here? ID doesn't matter. Oh, maybe that's a different one. Okay, let me get back then to the other one. I think it's meta rooted then. Okay, so are we getting a Vault ID when we log on the instance? SH key. Okay. Am I getting it? Oh, project CTF. That was something. Oh, okay. That was something at one place that we did. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. And we got the flag that way. But it's a little bit different than this, and that's not meta rooted because this one is Google Cloud. Is it this one instead? ARN. Oh, that might be the one then. Sorry, I'm trying to retrace what we've done 2 weeks ago. So, you log on, you get your stuff. Once we have successfully created an account, we can navigate to IAM and then to role, which will contain default roles, but we want to create a new role with custom trust policy. Maybe I should make it a little bit bigger so you can actually see it a bit more. I mean, like you could do the same thing. I don't know if they removed it though, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hack it if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, so you put the information in there, and then you see here that's the ARN. Okay, I'll just go back here. So you create a custom. Well, you create your the roles. You go and create a trust policy, or sorry, custom trust policy. Then you enter your information. Right, you're going to see here the AWS. You put that information. Once we have created the role, we can again navigate to IAM and roles and list all the roles and choose the newly created one. Once selected, the said role simply navigate to trust relationship, which will show our saved custom policy. So then now you see it's going to change like this, and it changes to Vault 101, which is not exactly which is exactly not yours in this case. Yeah, feel free. Like if you don't see it good enough, let me know. I apologize. I still need to get the hang of it and realize that I'm kind of forgetting about it. So that was one case over here on cloud, right? There is more cloud over here that you could take a look. I don't remember the other one though. I think I worked real quick on this one, but I don't know if I finished it. But you can see here you have a little bit more information that you can take a look. So again, that's a way to find out and understand what's going on with cloud, right? You can also take a look. Forensics, I really enjoyed it. Caving, sorry, mitigation one that's interesting. It was basically, if you guys remember, the XZ backdoor, right? So that was basically an example of that, but we didn't know exactly what was happening. So we had access to the backdoor .log. We were root, right? And we were given like all the information to be able to be there. But the goal for us for that specific challenge was to figure it out and what does it say here? Mitigate a medium forensics challenge that involve analyzing a live Linux system, detecting the active XZ backdoor, and mitigating it. So that's what it says, but that's not what the information was when we were giving that information. It says like you need to mitigate the thing. So if we put PSPY 64, if you guys don't know what it is, it's basically a tool where you start it, and now you're going to start seeing all the processes, right? So as you can see here, like you see all the PIDs, you see all that stuff, but you see like SSHD accepted, and then it says root privileges. And you're like, well, I did not connect. I didn't do anything. So what is it? I don't know. So we tried to do a couple of things. We couldn't figure it out. And then, yeah, eventually what's happening, like you're trying to find what's going on. So you see here, backdoor still active. It's basically being sent by basically the backdoor because it's already there. They checked. It's accessible. It's still feasible. It's good. The thing is, like, if you remember, you guys, there's the SSH, a module at one point, or a module, a library, I should say, probably the XZ. Maybe I should remove my banner. I see we're in there. I'm gonna take that off. That was the XZ library, right? And at that point, that's what we needed to do. We just needed to update the whole thing. So that's no, that's just the is that XZ again? Yeah, I think that's XZ again. So you can see here, we need to go get the package. We'll take a look at the package. Then we find out that it's the vulnerable version, right? And then go get the scanner, system infected with XZ backdoor. And then the solution was to go download the thing and then install it there on the machine. And then at that point, you just do like the flag would have been in temp, I guess. No, it's on the root drive, the root of the drive. So it would have been feasible to do that. So it was a fun one. Either way, I mean, like I don't want to go too much in depth into these ones. So if you have a chance, go take a look at them. This is a really good way to learn. I'm just gonna remove this. I think just that is good. See if I press enter. Okay. All right. I'm going to put it in a channel so you guys can actually see it. Yeah. So if you want to see anything else in there, I can show it to you. But this is great. Forensics. No, is it forensics? Off or reversing? No, that was reversing. I'll show you another one. I mean, like that was a little bit easy. This one, it's Fly Casino, right? So basically speaking, you get a file, you decompile, you run it, and then all you get is basically welcome robot casino, right? And you're trying to figure it out what works in there. And then for me, what I've done is like basically I went through a script that run that basically that binary, and then gets all the letters and the numbers and all that stuff and go through it. And then eventually I realized that capital H was available. And then as I I realized I'm like, okay, so capital T was available, and then after that, capital B. But if you make a mistake, you would have put, I don't know, like C lowercase, right? It would have just fell, and you have to start again. So it's basically you need to create your own flag as you're going through. And as you can see here, this is a script that needed to be done, right? To be able to keep going and then add a little bit more. And then basically speaking, it goes through the whole thing. For us, we did it in Bash. It was a little bit different, right? We use Bash to be able to get this done complete all the time, and it's pretty much the same way as how can I say that the while loop. Somebody was talking about the loop earlier, right? It's almost the same way. So it's basically like you go, you go, you go until you get good to go, and then after that, you just put it into a library, right? Into your library that is accepted or whatever the case may be, and then eventually it just creates your own flag completely. Um, yeah, you're welcome. You guys are very much welcome. I appreciate your comments here. Thanks, JF. Excellent. As always, your progress is usually available, valuable. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome here. And then here, your insight are glad I opened YouTube at the right time. Well, really, really glad to have you as well too. But all these things are all for free over here. I don't know if they offer the binary. Let me see. That's the solve.py. And do we have, oh, see, look, if we take a look at that, we can download this probably. Yeah, download here. And then let's open this up. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to change the name, huh? So we're not doing a walkthrough of that machine. Did it download it? Oh, yeah, I did. But I'm looking for my page. Oh, I guess I'm just opening it up every time. Okay, so if we just put it here, for example, and then now we have casino, we're going to right click, open terminal. And then I'm just going to do a chmod. Well, we can do that or plus X, right? It's two different things. It's not the exact same thing I'm doing, but it's the same thing for me at the end of the day because it's not a machine I'm keeping at the end, right? So casino, and then we run it. And as you can see here, if I do H, enter, it's correct. If I do T, it's correct. But if I do, let's say E, it doesn't work. Activating security system. So that's the thing, right? You need to figure it out. How can you do this? So let's say at this point here, we do HTB, we can make it work too, right? So we have everything correct. And now we see this is correct. But how can you get up to the actual flag, right? That's the thing. So now comes in some of those things that you guys, some of you guys won't like, but some other will really, really appreciate. OpenAI.com. It's available to everyone, right? So now you can ask OpenAI or ChatGPT to create, let's say, a Bash script that will go through all the letters, lower case, and then capitals. Like you don't really need to like you just give information capitals and numbers. What does it say when it's approved? If the word correct shows up, add it to, I don't know, like answer.txt, right? And then what else can we do? The binary, like create a bash script that will go through all, that will do a while loop and go through all the answers capital. If the word correct, maybe I should do in capital because I think that's how it was. Shows up, add the answer Add it to or append it. Shows up. Append. No, no, no. Just add it. The name of the binary is casino. So I don't know, like that's something like this we can put in. The other thing too after that is I can come here and I can say, for example, here, place your bet, correct, and just do a copy, for example. I don't, it does. Whoops, it doesn't mean it's gonna work, but we'll see. And then you press enter, and then we just wait. This is the cheap version of ChatGPT, right? The 3.5. So we can see here, copy code. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but let's give it a try. See, so we're going to do a nano solution.sh because that's a bash. We're just going to copy it here. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work, so we'll see. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a scripter, and that's why, like, if you are a scripter, you're going to be able to find this out much faster than, let's say, somebody like me that is not able to do it at 100%. But you're going to be able also to decrypt stuff with it too, right? So let's do a chmod 777 solution. Now let's give it a try just for fun, right? I don't know if it's going to work. It did not do anything. So, so see, that's the try. So let's do again a nano. Oops. Solutions. So create an array containing, okay, create a function to check the word content correct. And append it. Oh, maybe it's not exactly the same way. See, it's not exactly the way that it should have been. Let me check on Discord. I think I have the actual query that that was sent. Give me a second, okay? I go to which one was it? I need to find where this one was. Oh, that's reverse. Okay, let's go in reverse. Oops, I'm going the wrong place. I'm joining the chat instead. Bin bash incorrect. Guess. Was it that? Okay. All right. So I got the actual script that we created, or the actual query that was done. Oh, I got the query too. Okay. So copy. It might be a little bit different than this, but that was the query that was sent. So let's do just a new chat. New chat. I don't care if it doesn't save it, but that was that. Okay. So can you write a code that will brute force each character until the result of WC-L is 0, and then add next character and repeat the process until it's all found. Something like this, right? That's not me that found this, by the way, right? I want to give the prop to, I think his name is Newtune09, something like that. I think that's what his name is. And he's part of our group at Malibu Security that did did this. And let's see if this one's going to be better. Worst case scenario, I'll show you the exact script that was used for us. And that's different than the solution, right? Not that. Oh, I guess I can use this. Display. We're just going to override the whole thing, copy it there, save it, then go back into Parrot. I don't want to save it. That's good. All right. Sorry, getting a call. Let's cancel that. Solution. Not casino. Okay, I'll just do it. Solution.sh. Failed to find correct string. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a couple things that needed to be done after that. That was the initial query, and then a few questions after that. But see, it found HT and then B, and then if you keep going through, I don't know. It could be, let's say, add this and this to the. I should probably, yeah, to the following script, and then we can just come back here, Control A, C, and then put it down here, Control V, then send it. And now we take a look at the actual script if it's going to work. I mean, that's repeating ourselves a little bit here. So if it doesn't work after that, I'll actually show you the correct answer. But it's like trial and error a couple times, and a lot of times you can find the actual answer just this way. Whoops, that's not that. That. Okay, so it doesn't work. Give me a sec. I'll copy the answer because obviously one from one request in ChatGPT to another, especially between the different versions, things are different, right? So see, bang. It's creating itself. You guys can hear me? Sorry. I don't know what's going on. Internet here sometimes has issues. I apologize about that. You guys still here? Got 3 people. We lost a couple. Yeah. The bash loop is what crashed my computer. Did you guys have the time to at least see it? I need to get my VM going again. Yes? Okay, good. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much for confirming. Yeah, because that was that was something I hate it. I don't know what's going on lately. I'm on my phone right now to be able to get internet, so hopefully it's not too choppy. All right, let's go back to Palmbox. Open desktop. Oh, I guess I need to. Did it kick me out completely? I guess it did. All right. Well, I mean, like, do you guys have any? You learned this the other day. What do you mean? Oh, the loop ate all the RAM. Oh my god. There was a case where one of the guys created a Python script to be able that was for the business ETF. One of the guys created a script with what's it called? With one of those challenges. And like I mean, like I don't have a supercomputer right now. I have a MacBook Pro, has 36 gigs of RAM on it, which is decent enough, right? One of those M3, right? And the thing is, like, I started trying it, and I was like at 49 gig at one point of RAM to be able to get this going, and that challenge was just like crazy. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, it was not even needed. It was just like a little issue in the code, got corrected, and then got fixed right away, and then barely ate any RAM at that point. So, yeah, let me get back into this. I need to, I guess, yeah, it keeps. Yeah, I'll terminate this and reopen that thing. So, you guys have any questions? Any others I can answer or help or guide you or whatnot? I mean, I know at one point. Oh, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. I could also give a little rundown on some of the things that I think are interesting, like Sherlock. Yeah, let me put this on since we're what almost 9 o'clock. I think it's we're getting late on this case. To be able to finish the machine, but I'll have to rename the title. Can I rename it? Yeah, let's rename it because I think it's not exactly relevant at all to a HTB walkthrough. Um, Visual machine uh, and learning. Um, I guess there we go. I think I'm just gonna save it like that, so at least it's changed. I'm gonna have to change the description, but that's fine. All right, so save this. It's gonna be a little bit different. All right, so I'm gonna put my screen back up. We still have 5 people, so you guys are still here, hanging around. Let's go. Hack the box. That's the one. Yeah, share. And let's move here instead. All right. So one of the things that's I think it'd be good to take a look at is basically this one, right? So for you guys, I gave you access, or at least okay. So I got 4 people here. Black Shell already has a voucher, so I guess the other 3 people that's left, other than Black Shell, sorry, other 2 people. I need 2 people that other than Black Shell to I don't know, raise their hand up or whatever, and write 1, 2, 3 into the chat, and I'll give you a voucher, 1 month free VIP Plus voucher. And then very soon, in probably like 20 minutes or so, I'll go for the 6 months. But keep staying around. All right, so if we take a look here, we're gonna see that we have like a bunch of these things, right? So obviously, I'm not going to be able to show 100%, but if I take a look, where is it? Which one? Nobilium? It's not Nobilium I put in, but Nobilium is very interesting. Oh, see, what was the original IP address threat actor used to infiltrate for less AWS account, right? I guess this one seems to be a little bit, yeah, AWS S3. So leading telecom provider for IRLA uses AWS S3 as a essential part of the infrastructure. So that could be a very interesting one to go through as a machine. You get the file, you download it over here, right? Download the file, and then you get to take a look at the actual file and inspect the whole thing. But there's another one. I mean, if you guys like that, I love doing these things. Um, maybe page 2. Oh, I guess it's the one. Yeah, the one in green is the one I did. So, and malware analysis was cool too. So I guess you see some answers. Probably should not put them all, but it's basically you work as a junior DFIR consultant for a big consultancy, and then you have to figure it out what happened there, right? So you have to go through all those things, log jammer, and then Notepad, Rogue One, Bumblebee, another one too. Um, guest Wi-Fi over here, so you have to take a look at that. So it's basically speaking, I guess you go to an SQLite 3, and then you have to find out exactly what's in there. So I mean, like there's a bunch of stuff. Like those very easy one are probably the one that you could start with and see how it goes, right? So that's very interesting. So 1, 2, 3, hand up. Okay, all right. And you're getting one. So I see your hand up and all that stuff. So you're going to be getting a 1 month free VIP Plus with Hack the Box. What's your name here? Just make sure you go on Discord server. If you don't have access, it should be in the description or it should be in the chat a little bit higher. Then just hit me up. My name is Malvik. I'm the only admin. So it should be easy enough to be able to get there. And I'll give you a 1 month free voucher. Stick around if you want to be able to see the or get a chance to be able to get the 6 months. So yeah, I mean, like Sherlock, that's something we should do. I don't know if that's something that you guys are interested. If you guys are interested at one point, it's still small, huh? I should have had it a little bit bigger. Where is that plus? Oh, there it is. There we go. Maybe a little bit too big for. That should be good. I think this way around. All right, so that's what it is. Somebody asked me as well where to start. That's another really good place to start, right? So learn how to connect to FTP, SMB, Telnet, rsync, and then you're good to go. You can start over here and then do the machine. Yeah, for people that are not VIP Plus, they can get 2 hours of free phone. I'm VIP Plus, so I should be able to get access and make it easy enough, right? So, for example, if I do this, is that starting the machine? Oh no, that's the write up for the machine. Is there a way to be able to start? Okay, connect using Palmbox, and then you see here, use Palmbox, start. You can see I have unlimited, doesn't matter. I'm in Canada. I just didn't check the Canadian one, so but that's fine. So there's that. You must be on the same network, connect to the starting VPN using one of the following options. Okay, so probably this will be activated, and then after that, I'll be able to spawn the machine over here. Yeah, what does the acronym VM stand for? So that's a way to be able to get this through, right? Is my machine connected Palm box? All right, there you go. So now I have my machine over here, right? And then I can start hacking through. See, now can spawn the machine. I already have an active machine. Oh, well, I guess at this point, we're just going to turn it off. Okay, so let's go back to where we were, starting point, and then spawn the machine. There we go. So you see that's it can take a little bit of steps sometimes depending on where you're at, but you're going to be able to start those machines and then start doing some hacking. And you can see here you already have the walkthrough if you need to. I would highly recommend if you can do it without it, that'd be even better. But at least you can start with this very easy machine and do a couple of tasks, and then eventually you move up to another machine, and they're all very easy, right? So it should be rather simple for most of you. If you have any issues and you want to try to level up a little bit, you may want to do intro to Academy, right? Sign in. Can I just sign in here? Let's see. That. Oh, it's asking for a code. Let me just move away from there for a second. Maybe I should have done that before. Visual is medium. It's a medium machine. I can show you in a second. Let me just find my code and enter it. Like I would tell you that technically speaking, for me, visual would probably. I mean, it all depends on how fast I can get everything done. But I would say for myself, probably one day to finish it. Right. The more you do it, the easier it gets. But I don't do that on a daily basis all the time, so it gets a little bit harder. I should probably remove your hand, huh? All right. So let's go back over here to this machine or my screen. All right. So this is not the actual academy that was. This is the actual academy that you guys would see if you sign up brand new, right? You could all actually start doing the introduction to academy. It's free. And then you get a couple of things. Obviously, here they're not going to tell you a whole lot. It's just to give you information about how the academy works. And then see here, you have a cheat sheet where you can use those commands if you need to, right? So it makes it a little bit easier to go with. As you're moving along, you may have some questions like here. What is the name of the first section in this module, right? And then you just like put information. Then um, you get basically speaking a cubes. I think what this one is it like introduction? Is that what they mean? That's what it is. See, I mean, like for this part, it's easy. They're trying to make you understand what's going on, right? So then I got 3 cubes back. So if I go back basically to Academy here, I might see I got 13 now, right? And then as you move along, the progress goes there. Next piece, we have network integration with Nmap, right? Once you click on it, it gives you some information and then some places where it can be found in some of the path. And then you do starts. And now we have a cheat sheet with all those things. It's all available for free at this point, right? I'm not actually paying. And I mean, I'm probably not going to go there just in case there's something that I'm not supposed to show. But over here, now we go through them and we can start accumulating a couple of cubes, right? So at the end over here, it's going to tell us based on the last results, find out which operating system it belongs to. Submit the name of the operating system as default. If we have any questions or so on, we can go to the int. Might help us out a little bit, right? I'll be able to achieve that. So yeah, so it's a good way to be able to get everything done. And again, I'm showing you this, but it's all free. It's not something like that's it's not available for everyone. Either way, this account has nothing right now. It used to have a lot more, but doesn't have anything right now. And then you keep going, and let's say we go to all modules. We can see there is a ton. Can we sort it out a little bit better? No, it's filtering. So either way, you can see there's lots of different ones. And then as you see one, for example, is this one. Okay, this one, we already have it. So see here, it's 10 cubes for this one. So if I click on it, unlock 10 cubes, right? Now I can access it. I lost 10 cubes though. So I should be at 3 now. You see here 3. If I go back here for Linux fundamentals, click on it. Then now I can go into the history. I can go to like extensive amount of information for Linux. So if you're not comfortable with, for example, like anything that's related to Linux, that'd be a good way to be able to do that, right? If you're looking for a specific path, like you want all the basic tool sets, you can take a look at all the modules that are here, right? It will require you basically 420 cubes to be able to buy them all. Buy all of them, all the 7. Local privilege escalation, that's another one too that can be interesting. And then you get Linux privilege escalation and Windows privilege escalation. Windows is very fun to do. At least I really enjoyed it. But this one is like 200 cubes. So at this point, I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. And what I was talking about, there's job role path that you can do. And that's the one basically speaking for the CBBH. So the bug bounty hunter, you got the penetration tester, SOC analyst for the blue guys, blue people. Lots of interesting things. We have stuff on Splunk and Elastic Stack as well, right? So if you need to do threat hunting or something like that with Elastic Stack, I don't know up to like how deep it goes. So that's something to just be mindful, but at least it's there, right? Gives you some experience with some SIEM. And we take a look, for example, Splunk, which is quite like big, and a lot of people are using it. I think they conduct some attacks as well. Does it say here? Hands-on exercise to practice technique. The technique we cover. The module ends with a practical hands-on skill assessment to gauge your understanding of the various topic areas. So, I mean, like if you have to start working for a company, that might be helping you out. Also, if there's some attacks that are going through it, that might be also very helpful for you if you're a SOC analyst. I have my water bottle here. Yes, they are extremely fun. Is there something that you like? It's just too bad we didn't see visual because we had Potato that was involved into it. But is there something that you've done so far on Privesc that you can recall? That was like something you didn't think it was feasible. I have one for myself. I'll tell you in a second. Well, maybe I should tell you. So on one of those modules, I don't know if we can actually go and take a look real quick. One of those modules, well, I guess I was already there. I don't know. Local privilege. Oh, there it is. Windows privilege escalation. I'm going to try to see if it's there. Because you see here, like all the different things that they're going to be covering. And I'm trying to see which one it was. It was basically, oh, event log reader. That's good. That's also for blue team, but that's pretty good. You can find lots of information there when you do threat hunting, for example. I mean, it's not the only place. You should be able to do more than this, but threat hunting on a scene does not mean you have all the logs. So you may need to go somewhere else. I don't see it here, but basically speaking is like if you have a shared drive where lots of people can go, um, what you can do basically, it's a file. I think it's a .scf. I can't remember exactly if that's that exactly, but there's a file with a specific extension that is can be discarded by people. They don't really realize it, but as soon as they navigate there without realizing, they are basically doing a callback, right? So it's basically a callback that's going on, and you're like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" Like you put, I should probably take a look at it, but like somebody navigate there. That other person has, let's say, a NetCat listener just waiting, and then as soon as that person gets there, it dials back directly the other machine, and that person again did not click anywhere, did not do anything, but there's a basically a click, well, not a click back, but a dial back to that machine, and then the hacker is that person now. So that can be very very interesting. Well, if you guys are interested, at one point we could do some lessons on these things instead of just like going on machines. That could be another thing too we could do. I mean, I teach on Windows Provost, like those things there. I do teach on that. The one I've been focusing a little bit more is CBBH. And I mean, like, if you guys are interested too, that's something it's open right now to businesses, but I could potentially start opening it up a little bit more to consumers. And it's basically HTB certified bug bounty hunter. So the goal is to go through the whole path, right? Bug bounty hunter. So basically speaking, I'm there. I'm helping you out. I'm teaching you everything you need. Well, not everything, but most of the stuff you need to do. You have homework to do as well whenever you're done. And then at the end of the course, like you should have everything you need to be able to challenge the actual certifications on Bug Bounty Hunter, right? Once we're done with this, with Bug Bounty Hunter, and you've gone through the whole thing, right? Is there any information? I don't know if it says it or, yeah, it doesn't say it again anymore. But it used to say it. It was done by HackerOne. If you guys don't know what HackerOne is, yeah, don't see that. Okay. So is that going to change? Yeah. Let's go to hackerone.com. I think I already showed it in the past, but I think it's tremendous. So basically the course, what it does, the initial course, it brings you inside how to get CBBH. And once you're done with CBBH, you get ready for this. And that's where, like, after 12 weeks, I would say, let's say 3 to 4 months, that's where you're going to start being able to work, right? And not necessarily work and earn money 100%. It doesn't mean that yet, right? But at least gives you the tools to start thinking about it and do it for real, right? So this is a platform. If you start logging on, and then let's say we go to Hacker and then Activity, for example, we're going to be able to see stuff that has been reported. So we have Basecamp, Nextcloud, Internet Bug Bounty. Do we have others? Expression Engine, GitLab, right? They found a cross-site scripting. Do we have other big ones? Let's go. Can we sort them out? Sort with highest bounty. I mean, like, that's, you don't have to take that for granted that you will get this, but at least it's to give you an example that's it's still reachable. There's one I found was $25,000, and that's all US, right? $25,000 US. And with this is basically somebody did a burp suite, right? Intercepted one of those requests and find out that the video ID for Snapchat, right? The video ID was showing up into the delete function. So whenever somebody hit delete and then intercept it, see the video ID, they could delete a whole library from someone completely, right? Obliterate it. And those people don't really realize it. And that's an easy find. And it was $25,000 US to be able to get this. Again, I'm not trying to show you that or tell you that it's dreams and then money. It's going to be flowing. I told you my story earlier. Lots of dedication. That's exactly what it is. You might be able to get it, but there's no promises there, right? It depends. Yes, correct. Very good for people that, I mean, like, I would say that if you want to do it, I would go on to learning how to do it first. If you don't know, then after that you can move on to something like this. But we see here like Shopify, access token exposure, right? If we click on it, we can see here how it was actually done, right? I was reviewing the Electron app made by one of Shopify employee, right? And then if we take a look, we see exactly what he did. And then permission admin falls through, okay. And then as a proof, I can tell you the repo GitHub Shopify hash, and then the SHA is bang. So, I mean, there's lots of information that can be there. Thank you for your report, added information. We appreciate quick response, so on. Can you please provide us with more details, specifically with the access token application you were reviewing? So see, there's a conversation, and then eventually it goes to payout, and then they disclose the actual report. So, I mean, like, you have to abide by the rules. So you're not allowed to just go wherever you want and do whatever you want, right? But it's a good indication on what's there. Is there a popularity? Is there anything else? Take over an account that doesn't have a Shopify ID and more. You have PayPal too, bypass, enable stored XSS, account takeover via leak session cookie, right? That's 4 years ago. Obviously, like it's a couple of years ago. They're not valid anymore or recently disclosed. There you go. So these ones may or may not have payout. So you see here, $420. These ones sometimes we don't really see the payout. But yeah, it's a way to be able to do pen testing on the on networks without having to apply left and right. Oh yeah, there's criticals. Yeah, you're right. There's criticals. And these are mediums, and they were like 2,500 still. Do we have that? We have a high here in proper access control. Even IBM, see, that's 24 days ago. So if my page load. All right, so apologize again. I think we're gonna have to adjust this. Internet is not working out. Unfortunately, I'm back. Sorry about that. Internet is the issue sometimes. All right, so one thing I said I was going to do, we're 9 minutes a little bit over. I want to get the 6 months out at this point, right? So, um, what is the question I could ask you guys that you guys were very much involved into it over here? Okay, so what was, like I showed you earlier, not long, like maybe 20, 30 minutes ago, I showed you a script. I showed you something that was from the business ETF, right? I mean, that's not a long time ago, so it should be a little bit easy to find this out. And that's there was a binary that was attached to it. Do you guys remember the name of the binary that we actually did a a script, bash script, and I showed you how to get the flag out of that binary? What's the name of the binary? Do you guys remember? Might be a hard one though. I hope not. So that's for the 6 months VIP Plus subscription. Do I have any special effects over here? I'm trying to think. Buzzer, applause, scream, buzzer, sensor. No, it doesn't say anything. I got a something over here I could have used. None of you remember? Can you guys still hear me fine? Oh, I should have looked my settings. Audio, yeah, should be fine. Start with C. Do we have somebody here that wants the 6 months VIP plus subscription? Even the guys that there we go. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Casino. So Black Shell, well, what we're doing right now is instead of giving you the 1 month for free, right? I'm going to give you the 6 months instead. So it's basically interchanging it. 6 months free HTB. Not the whole suite, right? But just the VIP plus, which is the place where you get all the machines and so on that you can hack. So I'll give you access to that one there. But you have to reach out to me directly on Discord. Okay. Make sure you reach out to me there. That's where I'm gonna give it to you. Again, I'm just saying it again. The 1 month you had, we can't give it away to someone else. I have 2 more 1 month. So whoever is in the chat that wants it, just let me know. Even if you just tune in, I'll give it to you as long as you use it. And well, I mean, you need to reach out to me on Discord, and then after that, you need to use it. So who's here wants the 1 month free? I should probably bring Discord back on the screen. And I would say applause to, is that what it is? That's applause. I think we got it. I got to get used to these things. I think there's even a lot more stuff I can do with that thing. All right. Do we have anybody else? There's 6 people here. I don't want to get stuck with it. I mean, like, I don't want to give it. Go on Discord. I'll give you the link to go on Discord. I'll put it here. Invite people. Copy. So you guys are invited on Discord. Log in there. Log in there. Get your profile in there. Then accept the read me first. Right? There's like a little box at the bottom left where you can click on it, and that means that you accept the rules of, like, you won't do anything stupid, right? And you're going to be nice with other people. I stopped playing HTB. Why? Yeah. So as soon as you hit that one, you're going to be able to see me. Oh, I see somebody here. That responded back. Is that in server access? No. Where did you respond it back? Oh no, I guess you just joined it. I get information, or I get a bunch of different notifications from this. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's a different one. You just said hi, but that's XXE deep dive. Go on top. You should see server access visual, but then at the end there's Melvik. I guess I should just like talk to you directly instead. All right, so I just wrote hey, so I'll give it to you in a minute. Is there anybody else? Anybody else? To beat elites, you should keep playing again, HTB. I mean, if you don't play HTB, you should play the Big Boys Hacker 1. Or Big Boys, Big Girls, I should say, right? I don't want to be too specific on this. So, all right, if there's nobody else that still want to take part of it, that's fine. I mean, like, some people already have their subscriptions, like Kid Quick, but it was. And if you guys don't have any questions either, I'll just leave it at that for now. Make sure that Abbas Ali, you reach out to me again on Discord. I'll just give you some information, and then I'll give you your month free. So on this, if there's no other questions or anything else, I'll wait about another 5-10 seconds just to make sure. Then I'll go. That's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. By the way, while we're waiting, if there's anything, every last Thursday we stream these type of Hack the Box Ottawa meetups, but then we can do even more. So we can start touching on the other stuff. So, all right, well, it was great seeing you guys. I apologize for the little hiccups here and there, and then I wish you a great night and a great weekend as well. So on this, have a good one. Cheers.